My name is Diane Wilson. I'm a fourth generation fisherwoman. I'm 72 years old, and I have a long extended family in my community. My family has been here around the mid Texas Gulf Coast about 130 years, and they've all been fishermen. And I am practically related to everybody in this town. I've got 7 brothers and sisters. I've got probably 15 aunts and uncles, 20 or 30 cousins, and I've got 5 children. So I'm from a very small community and a very authentic fishing village. We're probably the last authentic fishing village on the whole Texas Gulf Coast. Most of the fisheries, the fishermen have been booted out of the bays, and now it's either tourists or industry has moved in so hard that the fishermen are no longer there. But Seadrift, my hometown, the county where I'm from, it had its heritage. Its history has been fishing. We were the mid-Texas Gulf Coast. We were Matagorda Bay, Lavaca Bay, Spirit Center Bay, San Antonio Bay. And I have spent, as a fishing family, I have spent my whole life on the bay or around the docks or on the boats. As a kid, where most kids might have a newspaper route or most kids might go clean houses, we headed shrimp at a fish house. And we would go in barefooted. And matter of fact, there would be so much shrimp juice, your feet were plastered to the floor with shrimp juice. But that's how we made our money for our school clothes. And so I have got a great love and affection for the bay. My whole time as a child was on someone's boat or crabbing in the water or walking in the water, or that was it. And then in the evening, you would go down to the bay and you would watch the boats come in. You would hear them at night in your sleep when they left very early in the morning, and then you would go down and see them coming in. So my life and my family's life and my community's life and most of this county on the mid-Texas Gulf Coast has been the fisheries and the bays. And now it's not. And the future is very uncertain. And, and I've been doing this environmental fight for 30 years now. 30 years fighting as hard as I could, to the extent you lose your job, you lose your marriage, you lose your home. People don't want to be around you because you fight so hard for it. And now you are face to face with, like what I'm facing right now. I fought 30 years against Formosa Plastics, and I finally, after 30 years, I won a major victory by just being very dogged, very persistent, and we took them to court. And the wonder of wonders, we won the lawsuit. Over all those years, I always had information that was right. I always had evidence that was correct, but you never had a sense of ever winning a victory because the courts failed you, lawyers failed you, the system failed you, the agencies failed you, your local officials failed you. And all you could do is go back and fight again because this is your home. I cannot imagine any other place that I would want to be. I've had a lot of times I've spoken all over the country, all over the world, actually. I've been to Baghdad. I've been to Beirut. I've been to Jordan. I've been to Bhopal, India. I've been to Taiwan, and all over the United States. And I've spoken about what I fight for down here. And I always get people that's like, well, are you moving? Are you getting out? And it's like, it's hard for people to understand. Is like, you cannot leave it. You cannot get away from this. Is your piece of earth, and maybe that's one of the things you get. And I feel lucky for it, that if you're in a place for 130 years, that place is alive. It's not a resource. It's not a commodity. It's not where you make your living. It's your home, and it is as much your identity as your name on a check. And so after 30 years, and I won a lawsuit against Formosa for $50 million, and it was one of the largest settlements in the U.S. history for a citizen suit. And still, you want to think that the state learns. You want to think your officials learn, and that things will start changing. But what I find is just another aspect of this kind of, it's almost like this many-headed monster that keeps coming out, and it keeps changing its form. And so now, not only are you finally trying to get a handle on Formosa Plastics with all the pellets and the powder and the pollution that they put out in the bay, you now have these people, these men who want to make a buck. That's all it is. They don't care about the future of this community. Their family isn't here. They see a way to make a buck. And so they're willing to export fossil fuel. They're willing to build on a Mercury Superfund site. They want to put down $260 million and and dig up a Superfund site and take the worst contamination and just sling it to the heavens. And it goes up into the water table, and the pellets pick it up, the fish pick it up. And here you have your fishermen who are trying everything they can to hang on. A community that has been almost decimated, and they're trying to hang on. And they have this faith in them, and I know some elected officials, they'll just say, well, that's progress. That's it. It's like, you need to wipe your hand of the fisheries and invest in companies like Formosa, invest in fossil fuel exports, and dredge that bay. It's only going to hurt a little bit, or who knows what it's going to do. And we'll let the next generation worry about it. But I worry about it now. I worry about the fishermen now. I worry about that bay now. I worry about my children and our communities. And so it's not just myself. And I know when I did a settlement with Formosa, there was I went into this big room, and normally when I've ever had to do a settlement with Formosa or negotiate or you do any talking, there is a room full of of suits from Formosa sitting there, and lawyers and supervisors of units and upper management and lower management and people from New Jersey. It's a room full. And this time, my last time, there was one woman there, and she was a Taiwanese American woman. And she watched me come in, and she looked at me and she said, "You're one very persistent woman." And I am. And I think that's been a curse for a lot of people, but it's been a blessing for this bay and for this community. And so here I stay.